guys, long time no see. I'm still alive. I've just been crazy busy. There's been a lot going on in my life right now, and I kind of wanted to do an update and let you know where I've been. So I'm still budgeting. I'm still following the Dave Ramsey plan. Nothing has really changed there. I'm still in baby step 1. That's taking me a lot longer than I anticipated. I did actually have to clean out my emergency fund a few months ago. I think I had like $400 saved up just because I had a car repair, and Murphy came to visit me, and I was so thankful to actually have that money stashed away for that. So that happened. When I last talked to you, which was about a year ago, give or take a few months, I was still in school. I was student teaching and just starting my Total Money Makeover journey. Since then, I graduated. I graduated in December with honors. Thank you very much. Much of my hard work was greatly rewarded. I was in school for 6 years, and to finally have that diploma just means so much to me right now. So I'm really thankful to have finally graduated. So after graduation, I had started teaching in a daycare. I was the lead teacher in a preschool classroom with ages 3 to 5 years old, and then I would have some elementary age children in the afternoons for the after school program. I lasted there 5 months, which was longer than I thought I would. I ended up quitting because it was not a great environment. The children were very, how do I say this nicely? The kids were assholes. I can't even pretend that they were good. We had a lot of interesting personalities in that classroom. We had some kids who had some behavior and intellectual disabilities that were not quite diagnosed yet, and I'd made mention to the parents about some concerns that I had, and the parents were just totally not willing to face reality. But I understand that my brother is autistic, and I get not wanting to put that label on your children, so I get that. But then I just had some kids who at home they were not disciplined, and when I tried to discipline them, they just kind of laughed in my face. And finally, what really hit the head was, even though I'd been there 5 months, the kids started to say that I wasn't really their teacher, that a teacher who had been there a year ago was their teacher. They didn't have to listen to me. And one of them started to just physically abuse me. He would hit me and kick me and bite me. And I went to my director, the director of the daycare, and I was like, hey, this is what's going on. These are the strategies I want to try to combat this and try to fix this. And she's like, no, I really don't want you to do that. Just do what we told you to do. Do the strategies we told you to do. They've worked in the past, and they're really good kids. I don't know a single one of them that would do something like that. So it must be something you're doing. So I decided, after a lot of thought, that job was no longer worth it. I was only getting $10 an hour, and I wasn't guaranteed a full 40 hours a week, even though I was full-time and there wasn't any benefits. And I just decided that it was not worth my time or the stress that it was causing me. And I was I would just wake up in the morning and not want to go to work. I would just absolutely dread it. The minute I left the door from work one afternoon, I would be dreading going back the next day. So I knew that it was not a great environment for me. So I spent a lot of time talking to my roommate at the time, and she had worked at Walgreens, and she had told me that they were looking for people because a lot of people were graduating and leaving. So I applied there, and I was actually offered a management position right off the bat. I was offered the shift lead key holder position that they had opened. So I'm making a lot more money now. Well, not really. I make $12.50 an hour, which is $2.50 more than I was making at the daycare, but I'm guaranteed a certain amount of hours. And I actually even just got, you can see it right here. Oops, sorry. You can even see it right here. I have paperwork for benefits. So I qualify for health insurance, 401k. I get PTO when I've worked there for 6 months. I get holiday pay. I have overtime opportunities available, so it's just a much better situation. I started there in May. It's going to be August almost, and I am loving it. There are a few days where I kind of hate it, and it's always usually just the customers. Most of the time, the customers are absolutely awesome. I love working with them. I love all my coworkers, which is another thing at the daycare. I really didn't like my coworkers. They weren't the nicest bunch. There was a lot of drama, but at Walgreens, I love my coworkers. I love my management team I work with, and all the team members that are just part-time. I really like them. There's a few that I struggle with and all the managers do, because they just don't want to do anything. They don't really listen and kind of half-ass their job, but I do really like what I'm doing there. Do I think it's something I could do for the rest of my life? No. I'm currently looking for teaching positions for the fall. However, it's August, and soon there won't be any employment opportunities for teaching. I've applied to, I think 12 schools so far. I had one interview, and I didn't get it then. They just went with another, because there's only one other person, so they went with them just because they had more experience. I did receive a call for an interview, but they were not willing to work with my schedule because they had to have the interview done a certain day. And I was like, well, I worked that day. Can I come another day? And they said no. But it was a school district I really didn't want anyway. And then some districts I just never heard from after I submitted applications. I gave them a few calls and I never heard anything back, so I just kind of moved on. My plans going forward, if I were not to find a full-time teaching job this year, I am going to keep working at Walgreens because I love it, and if I don't find a stable teaching job this year, at least I have Walgreens to fall back on. But since I do work a lot of weekends, I usually have 1 or 2 days off during the week, so I do plan on substitute teaching on my days off just to generate some extra income and get my foot in the door in a few places. So that's kind of my plans going forward. What else is new in my life? I moved down the hall from my current apartment, or where I was living last year with my roommate, Caitlin. She graduated and she moved back home and is currently looking for employment. So I decided I couldn't afford to live in the 2-bedroom we had, and so I signed a lease for a 1-bedroom that's in the same building under the same management because I love my landlord. I love the building. They're really nice, clean apartments. They're really tiny though, and my current apartment that I'm living in now, the 1-bedroom, it's basically, I want to say like an efficiency apartment, but with a separate bedroom off to the side, because it's a lot like my last apartment. I have smaller efficiency size appliances. My living room is much, much smaller than my last apartment. My bedroom is much, much smaller. The bathroom is pretty big though. So I did move, and I've had to adjust my budget accordingly because now I am responsible for paying the full rent and the full utilities, whereas before I was only splitting them. Thankfully, my electricity bill has gone down substantially, even though it's summer and I'm running the air conditioner because it's a smaller place. And my roommate, Caitlin, had a thing about running the air conditioner all the time, and I'm much more apt to open the windows and turn it off. And we just don't have 2 people using the electricity. We're not running the dishwasher as much. So my electric bill has gone down, thankfully. I am, however, looking into possibly finding a cheaper place because my rent here is $575, which is a lot for a small apartment that I'm in. And it takes up a good portion of my paychecks, and my student loans enter repayment in August. Those are $500 a month. So I am looking for a smaller place. I'm also in talks with my boyfriend, who I started dating in December, about finding a place together because he lives an hour away, and we both kind of struggle financially. So we've kind of been talking not quite so seriously about living together, but it's something that we want to do. We've kind of already come to the realization that we want to spend the rest of our lives together, and we will most likely, he definitely has made his intent of us getting married, which I would totally, if he asked me today, I would say yes, because I definitely think he is going to be the one, like, how you have that feeling. So anyway, we're kind of discussing, living together. We're going to look into finding a place, but it's hard to find places that allow pets, and I have my 2 kitties, and I can't leave them behind because I'm moving. Like, I made the commitment to take care of them and love them, and they're like my fur babies. They're my children, so I'm not gonna move into a place that doesn't let me take them with me. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. I hope to post a budgeting video here soon. I've definitely changed the way I do my budget because I'm getting paid bi-weekly, which is different from when I was in school, because then I was getting monthly paychecks. But now I'm paid bi-weekly, and budgeting for the month monthly like that was difficult, so I've changed to just budgeting by paycheck. So I will do a video on that very soon. And yeah, I'm still working on paying my credit cards off. I'm almost paid one of them off, which is really exciting, just doing the minimum payments. I'm restarting baby step 1. I have, I think, $100 in the bank for that. Yeah, that's all I've got for you. So, I'm sorry this video is shaky too. I'm filming it on my tablet because I was having some technical difficulties with my video camera that I have. So, anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Let me know kind of how you've been. Give me an update on how your budget's going, how your life is going, and I will talk to you guys really, really soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.